Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. So today we are going to be going through my entire, and I mean entire, fall palette collection. Considering now we're nearly in fall, we're officially in September, so I do feel like I can show you these, and there's a lot. Grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get into it. I'm going to show you what basically we're working with, and then I'm going to go through it with you. So it's not going to be least favourite to favourite. When I do my ranking style palettes, when I've used them, I do that, but there's just too many of them. I would say, just looking, I'd say 50 or 60 eyeshadow palettes here. Who knew I was a fall girly? Well, I knew I was a fall girly. I do tend to like fall colours, hence the top that I'm wearing. But obviously this is summer here. But I have just bought it, so I'm not taking it off. I think you'll see me wearing it in winter. I just love the beach theme. Anyway, let's get into it. So I've tried to do it so it is just fall palettes, or what my interpretation of fall is. Everyone's interpretation will be different. So I'm going to show you them, like I said, and maybe for the thumbnail, and then we can go through what I've got. Good luck in putting them back in your collection, Andrea. So I'm going to take you off the tripod and just show you what it looks like. Right, so we've got a couple of random ones here. This one here, the Flower Punk, it does have, well, I'll tell you when I get to it. Then we've got all these here, and like these over here. So can you see what I mean? There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Right, so let's start. Ever-growing collection. I don't know what to start with. Okay, we'll start with McGrath Labs. So that looks like that. This one was part of my That's Expensive project pan. There's two of them. There's this one. Which one's this? Deep Space Divinity. I can't remember what the other one was called. This one to me is the most fall out of the two of them. So the outer packaging looks like that. Sorry, you get in the light there. And then it's a bit of a mess, but really does remind me of fall, obviously. I mean, this could be passed as winter, to be honest, but these two shades up here and that shade there definitely reminds me of fall, like the cranberry, the bronze shades. Yeah, I look at it and I think fall. That's probably why I pulled it out, because I've been ready for fall since August, guys. The next one, I've not even used it yet. A friend sent it to me. It's the ABH Cosmetics Scorpion Sting. Look at it. Does that not remind you of fall? I mean, I guess you could use this in summer as well. But for me personally, I use orange eyeshadow in the fall seasons. I tend to use, for summer, I tend to kind of go spring and summer. I use a lot of pastel leaning eyeshadows and everyday leaning eyeshadows. So I don't tend to go for things like this. So yeah, I really think just with the orange and the yellow gold, and it just reminds me of, I don't particularly like the look of this eyeshadow palette though. It's never been touched. I don't particularly like the look of it. I do need to use it. It's a brand new palette, so yeah, that'll be getting used soon. Right, and then we've got the P. Louise Fall in Love. This came out Valentine's Day, but to me it does really look like fall. I mean, this section here, I'll just do that. This section here could be used as Valentine's Day. What's that one called? Never Looking Back. But these two sections here, I want to be out of the frame. These two sections here are definitely more fall, in my opinion, with them being golds, and yeah, it's just stunning. It's a stunning palette. And really does remind me of fall. This one coming up now, it could be used more as everyday, and I do use it as an everyday palette, but because it says spice on it, I do get the impression, I feel like it was released around autumn, so that's why I put this one in. Can you see how I said, you know, you could use it for every day? You can, but also in the fall seasons as well, you don't necessarily have to pull things that are orange leaning or too warm to actually get a really nice fall look. Okay, this one, fall all over, and it's so inexpensive. So Revolution brought out these palettes. I believe this one was the first one they brought out. Revolution, the True Icon. I've got two of them. So the other one is called Enchanted Icon. That reminds me more of winter. But look at that. That is a dupe of the Patrick Tar eyeshadow palette. I don't know which one it is, but I just love it. You can see it's had some major dents in it. Now with this one, I don't feel like there's a shifty shade in it, but with the True Icon, there's a shifty shade in that. So True Icon is my favourite, but I really do like this one as well. I have got way too many palettes, is what I'm going to say. Right, so now I've got the Kiko Smart Iron Cheek palette in the shade 02. This one's really pretty, it just doesn't get enough use. And I think it looks like autumn because it's like I see autumn leaves like in these khaki shades here. And I do like the pink blush as well, so none of these palettes are getting decluttered. There may be some on the chopping block and there may be some that have been gifted. I will tell you if any have been gifted or if any are on the chopping block as and when we get to them. So next, Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. I'm going to count them all at the end because I'm curious as to how many's here. I mean, just look at that. Fall in a palette. I actually prefer this one over the BH Cosmetics Scorpion Sting. Right, this one is a copy in my opinion. It's a copy of the Urban Decay Naked Honey. But I actually prefer this one. This one does have a shifty shade. Where is it again? Where are you? I think it's this one. I think so. But again, this one needs to be used really soon. I've decided not to buy any more palettes. I know it's a bold claim. Just because, like, even looking at this part of my collection, and it isn't even all of it, there's too many. I'm never going to get around to using them all. Let's put these over here. Right, so next ones were gifts. Saints, Angels and Sinners, Fire Baby. My friend sent it to me, so it looks like this and it reminds me so much of autumn. I mean, purple could be classed as a winter shade, I know that. But yeah, the rest of the shades in here remind me of autumn. So yeah, again, this needs to be used soon. And then did they have, oh, Fire Baby, I've already told you. I've got another one after the one I'm showing you now, but that reminded me more of winter. So we've got the Earth Baby, and this one reminds me even more, I think. It's just got like these three shades here. That's the colour shifting shade one. When I look at that, I see gold. When you see it, it's more bronzy. It looks more like this shade but darker, but it truly isn't when it goes. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. They're quite flaky. Yeah, it's like a gold on my hand, but then you're seeing it as more of a. Can I not show you in the mirror? Can you see there, that gold? But it doesn't look like that, because that's that one. It doesn't really look like that when you're looking at it. Anyway, loves it. So that's Earth Baby. Next one is the BH Cosmetics Optimistic AF. And it looks like that. My friend Lisa got this for me. I do really like this one. I love this shade here, Blissed Out, because it is a duochrome. You won't see it though, but that's what it looks like. It's so bright in here. Yeah, it's like a white to a yellow. You're not seeing anything, but that's what it looks like. Next up is the Colourpop Hocus Pocus Witching Hour palette. I do have both of them. They brought 3 out though, didn't they? I didn't get the third one. So that looks like that. Very pretty. This one's on the chopping block, so it's by Sample Beauty. It's the Equalizer, the volume 2. It really does remind me of autumn though. The reason that I keep it around is definitely for these two rows here. I'm not really a fan of this row, apart from the shade. And then you've got these, like this quad here. This quad here is really, really pretty. So I need to use it. I need to figure out whether it's worth me keeping around my collection. So that's what I'll be doing really, really soon. Next one is, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's from the Glamshop. I got it off my friend Naomi. It's the WZ Loan, and I probably butchered the name. Looks like that. It is such a pretty green palette. So looks like that. I mean, the only shades I absolutely adore in this palette are these top 3 shades here, these 2 here. I don't really like this one, it's a bit too dark. I don't really like this blue-green down here, and I like these 2 as well. So there's not many shades that I don't like in the palette. It's a stunner. They don't do it anymore, unfortunately. And then how could I... Actually, let's talk about the other Colourpop palette. So in this first Colourpop palette, so Gather Round Sisters, there's some eyeshadows missing. They're in other palettes somewhere because I'm always creating masterpieces, or I feel like the masterpieces at the time, maybe they're not. But I always BYOP, like build my own palette. But yeah, you can see that there's 3 shades missing, but it's definitely autumnal, especially as it's a Halloween palette with it being Hocus Pocus. So that's what that one looks like. I should actually look for those shades online and then look in my collection and put it back the way it was. So when we get to Halloween, I can use it. How can we talk about fall palettes and not include this one? This is probably one of my oldest fall palettes. It is a stunner. Doesn't get much use though, just because it's not got a lot of shimmer in it. I think 4 shades is it? Let's have a look. 1, 2. No, 3 shades. Yeah, 3 shades. Looks like that. It is so fall. Just reminds me of the leaves. Like there's a nice cranberry shade up here. Really, really pretty. Next up, of the never-ending pile, Beauty Bay Botanicals. This is new in my collection. My mum got it me last year for my birthday. So it's in effect it's this year. My birthday was in February. I didn't have a good experience with it, but looking at it, it does really remind me of the fall months. Yeah, I didn't have a really good experience with it, but when I look back at the photos on TikTok, because they always go over there first, the photos looked absolutely beautiful, and everyone said that I've seen the photos, the looks look amazing, but to me, this palette, this formula, isn't as good as other formulas I've tried by Beauty Bay. I'm just saying. Then we've got the Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels. This hasn't had near enough use. I need to use this, and soon. I mean, this reminds me so much of fall. Yeah, you could get spring looks with this Jewel Bee and Meadow Hawk, but to me it's more fall. Like, just really, really like that palette. Then we've got the BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast. Looks like this. And this is definitely fall with it having all those greens in it. I keep saying I'm going to have to use these soon, but I am, otherwise they're just going to go bad. And that's another reason why I'm not buying palettes at the moment, just because I have got quite a lot that I've not used, quite a lot that I've not used as much as I should have used, and I don't need them. Next up, now this could be used as everyday, but I do get fall vibes from it. So the Anastasia, I'm not too sure what the palette was called. I'll try and get the name for it. So it looks like that. The name of it was on the packaging, but they haven't put it on the actual quad, which was rather bright of them, wasn't it? But these 2 shades here really do remind me of fall, and I like the fact that you can just put any singles in that you want. I mean, these singles are probably ones that they've used before, so I'll tell you what they are. So that shade's Sunny, that's my favourite in the palette. Then the matte next to it is Sandcastle. Then the other matte at the bottom is Papaya. And then the other shimmer is Rose Quartz. So that's what the palette looks like. And then the next one that I really feel like it's quite autumnal, could be used as everyday as well, is the Flower Beauty Desert Lights. It's so stunning, honestly. I mean, definitely this one is autumnal, this one is. The other four could possibly be used as everyday colours, but I do think it's a nice palette for the fall months. And then there's another one. This one is more fall, so the Jungle Lights. Sorry about the reflection, guys. That one is more fall in my opinion. All these three shades up here, you could use these for winter as well, and then you could use that for whatever season you want. But yeah, it's definitely more fall vibes than the previous one. Oh, this is a new palette and I've not even used it yet. Shame on me. When did I get this one? It was either my birthday or Christmas. No, it was Christmas. No, it was my birthday. Sorry, I had to think because I got 2 Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes off my mum last year. So, Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm. How can you not say this is fall vibes? And yes, you can use it in the summer as well, like towards the end of the summer, I would say. But I get fall vibes every time I look at it. Not used it yet. I can't wait to use it. I think I'm going to use it next Shop My Stash. There's one in here. Oh, it's this one. Phenomena. You're not going to see it. It shifts. It's a shifty shade. I can't wait to use that. I think that's going to be the first shade I use. Right. And then this one came for my birthday off my mum. And this one gives me even more fall vibes. The Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I duped this and then it took me so long to say to myself, I really do want that palette. But look at this, guys. How can you not say that's not fall vibes? With the greens and the golds. And it's very murky, very grungy. It's just beautiful. Now this one could be used as summer or fall. My friend Naomi got it me for Christmas. Natasha Denona Retro Glam. It's got some really nice green shades, but it is pastel leaning, so you could get away with using this in the autumn months. And I just get fall vibes from it, you know, because of the darker shades in it and the greens, the dark greens. Every time I look at it, like, I'm more thinking about fall when I see it. So, like, yeah, I mean, like these two peaches are more summer. This mint green is summer. This mint green could be construed as summer, so could this. So it could be a summer transition into the fall season. Right, I've got a couple of Natasha Denona smaller palettes now. So we've got the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette. I've had this years at this point, but it is leaning very fall. It'd be nice to use this again soon. And then this one, this is the Mini Gold. My friend Lisa got it for me. And I think it was released around Christmas time, wasn't it? But it doesn't remind me of Christmas. It doesn't remind me of winter. It reminds me of the fall seasons. Those shades are fall all over, in my opinion. Next, we've got another McGrath Labs Mothership eyeshadow palette. This one is in Rose Decadence. It reminds me of fall because we've got a really nice bronze shade here. And then we've got a cranberry shade. We've got this gold here, and then we've got some really nice mattes. So it does remind me of fall. People might not think the same, but it does remind me of fall. It's a very, very pretty palette. Then we've got this. This can be used all year round. This Too Faced Chocolate Gold. I just thought I would pull it out. Does have some fall shades in it, so it looks like that. Oh, still smells heavily of chocolate. So I see fall as anything golden, anything bronze, greens as well, like aubergine shades, things like that. And this has it all in it, to be honest. I put it in my kind of chopping block drawer just because I'm not too sure on it. The formula is very, very old now, so we need to test it out. I feel like in the Shop My Stash we need to be pulling at least one chopping block palette out, one Colourpop palette out, a new palette out if there is any, and also let Tiny Decisions pick another one out as well for me to use. So this one has always been on the chopping block. I just could never get used to it. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely palette. Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. Looks like that. I mean, I might like it. I'm into these shades more. I'm wearing purple a lot more than I ever have. Purple to me, though, is quite a wintry shade. But there's not a lot of purples in here. There's a lot of nice greens in here. There's like pumpkin shades up here. Pinks. I just think, yeah. I mean, the name says it all, doesn't it? Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. That says it all. Right, we've got a new one now coming up from my friend. So it's the Glaminatrix Grounded Palette. You can't really see the word in there, can you not? Let's take it out. I've not used it yet. Another one I've not used yet. So I don't think I'll be using it this Shop My Stash. I might use it just to compare. I've done a build your own palette, which is, there's not many shades that are similar. But I want to do at least one look on one eye, one look on another eye, and then it can go back in the collection until I'm ready to use it. But I get fall vibes from this. So look at that, guys. Let's turn it this way. Yeah, I get fall vibes from that all over. Right, more Natasha Denona. Oh, this is crazy. So Natasha Denona bronze palette. And again, some people would say, oof, mine's squeaky. Some people would say it's more of a summer palette. Yeah, you can use it on your eyes in the summer. I'm not disputing that. But for me and my personal taste, I would say definitely more fall. I think it's a beautiful palette for the fall seasons. Right, then we've got another Natasha Denona. So many fall palettes, guys. I can't believe I've got this many. So this one is the Zendo. Very reflective. It's got the cranberry, the golds. There are some peaches in here. And then we've got greens. You know, it like down here is definitely fall. I would say even down this row as well. I know there's some peaches there, but there's only two. Yeah, it really does remind me of that. I want to use this one soon as well. So these palettes are getting on the older side, guys. So the Zendo and the bronze are getting on the older side. But also the Natasha Denona Glam palette is on the older side. Now, I think that Natasha Denona Glam is more of a winter palette to me. But I thought that I might be decluttering that. But it looked really nice on the looks that I created. So that's going nowhere. And I'm hoping the same for Natasha Denona Zendo and Natasha Denona Bronze. I think there's only 3 palettes left now. This is an oldie, but a goodie. I've not used this in such a long time. This is getting used really, really soon. Morphe 35M Boss Mode, and you'll see this is probably my most autumnal palette. I mean, just look at that. That is a stunner, is it not? It's got your greens, your bronzes, your golds, your cranberry shades, even your purples. That to me, there's no denying that it could be anything but a fall season palette. All you would need all fall is this palette, in my opinion. Right, and then we've got Cosmic Beauty. They used to be called Cosmic Brushes, the Muse palette. This is my favourite palette from them. I know they've brought other ones out since, but I've not bought any. I don't know if this was the last one that I bought. So it looks like that. And I did have one before it. This one has just not been used. So you might be thinking, well, you've not even used it yet. I have used it. I used my other one so much. This one is a newer one. And again, we need to use this really soon. It's just on the grungy side of fall, I think. So that's what that one looks like. And then I've got this one, the Kaleidos Flower Punk. Now, I would say out of this palette, the only 4 shades that remind me of fall are those there. They remind me of fall so much. And then on this side, you've got your spring. So it's like a spring fall palette, in my opinion. Even a spring summer palette. I do really like it. I think it's absolutely stunning. But yeah, it's just these 4 shades. So it's not the entire palette. I just wanted to show you that really you can do a fall palette out of anything. You can even get into your singles. If you've got a lot of Colourpop palettes and you've got a magnetic palette, make your own fall palette. There's nothing wrong with that. It will save you going out and buying a fall palette. And these, just a disclaimer, guys, just because I've got these palettes doesn't mean you have to go out and get any of them. These are just what's in my collection, and they will stop me going out and buying a fall palette. I actually watched Jessica Dealey do her fall palette eyeshadow collection, and she had one in her eyeshadow collection from Profusion Cosmetics called Harvest, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. They don't do it anymore. It's such an old palette, they don't do it. But I am going to leave Jessica's video down below in my description if you want to go and check that out. I'm sure she would appreciate it. So there's 36 fall inspired eyeshadow palettes there. Look in your Alex drawers if you have Alex drawers. Look in where you keep your palettes, and I'm sure you've got fall inspired palettes as well, because we buy these palettes and we don't realise the fall inspired spring, summer, winter. So I'm sure you've got something. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.